fact that she spoke about, oh, once you've entered, you can take the wig off, it doesn't mean a man won't cheat.
Point made.
So because you decided to remove the wig, now what if he keeps looking for, because if he's picked you based off of your 30-inch bust down, he will go and find the one that has 32-inch bust down outside.
I've literally been trying to wrap my head around how I'm going to introduce this. And basically, hi, welcome to my podcast. This is something that I've been wanting to do for like a year now. Yeah, you and I had been talking about it.
Yeah, we had.
Yeah, because
literally it was like a year and a half ago. Actually.
Yeah, Sumi and I are commentary girls. We like 𝐒 we like 𝐶
𝐻𝐈𝐒 is my favorite.
So we're actually thinking of doing something together, but we were also scared of backlash.
Yeah.
But anyways, I also came up with the idea of doing a podcast on black hair, specifically the politics of black hair and how black hair is treated and viewed in society. And I feel like these are conversations we already have with our friends. These are conversations we have in our homes, but they're not conversations that we have on platforms, at least not for prolonged periods of time. Yeah, there might be an episode or two or a segment or two, but nothing that's dedicated to talking about black hair.
I agree.
Yeah.
Literally.
So that's why we're here. Braid and Sip. A little bit about the background. I was thinking about doing a paint and sip event for one of my businesses. I've been in entrepreneurship for a while, and currently I'm a reseller of hair extensions. And I was just thinking, how can I engage people? How can I get them more interested in purchasing hair extensions? And I thought of doing a paint and sip, but changing the concept a little bit, and people just come and learn how to braid, glass of wine in hand, something casual, something fun. And one of my friends literally just suggested, why don't I just borrow the name and make it the name of the podcast? So that's how we're here. Today we have a whole panel for the episode. And the title of the episode is The Politics of Black Hair. Are Black People the Problem? Now, before we get into like the nitty-gritty of the topic, we're going to start by introducing the panel. So I'm going to start on my right. Why don't you introduce yourself, tell us where you're from, your name, something interesting about yourself, and what you're sipping today.
Okay. Hi everyone. My name is 𝐒 𝐓𝐈𝐌𝐄. I go by Sumi mostly. I'm currently a final year law student at the University of Buckingham. What's a fun fact about me? That's interesting. I actually don't know what about. Literally, Kenny is talking about how my brain is literally just going TikTok.
What's interesting about Sumi? Yeah, you know Sumi. What's interesting about Sumi?
Her friendly side.
Okay.
She can make friends easily.
Yeah, actually. Yeah. I mean, that's why I'm the faculty liaison of my faculty, including psychology and computing. And I'm also a student ambassador. And
she's giving you guys her CV.
I'm also a student.
Firms looking to hire.
I need a job ASAP. As soon as I finish uni, I want to get a job. What's a fun fact about me? I'm the youngest of 3 daughters, and the sister that's immediately older than me is 10 years older than me. That's interesting, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to skip myself and go to you.
Hi, I'm KD or Kwansade. I'm a creative. I'm Nigerian born and raised with a brief stint in New York and a brief stint in England as we are now. I studied law, I guess. Interesting fact about me is that
You have so much.
yeah, I know I do, but what to pick from? So okay, like
Musician, you're a
catalog guy.
rapper, you're a producer,
designer.
artist.
Yeah, no.
Kenny's awesome,
He's also the
guys.
mayor of a small town.
Really?
Yes.
Are you actually?
Yeah,
Buckingham.
Wait, pause. Are you actually?
No.
I would have been like.
I mean, I could. I feel like if I run for office, I'll probably.
I mean, the deputy mayor is a Nigerian. So. Yeah.
Buckingham actually has a mayor. I didn't know this.
It's a lady.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, where's the vice?
Interesting.
Yeah, that's it about me. Moving on to Kay. Okay.
Wait, I don't know if I should talk to you or talk to the camera.
You can talk to us.
Okay. My name is Kunyala Sisimenduala, but you can call me Kay for short.
Say that again, please. Oh,
Strong.
yes.
Thank you to my parents for those names. I'm a student, formerly used to work in business development, so I do have some like professional experience to bring to this conversation. One fun fact about me is that I'm extremely competitive. Like I still play basketball to this day because
As you should be.
that drives me.
And our host, introduce yourself.
So, guys, I'm the host of the Braid and Sip podcast. My name is Malindi, and I'm from Kenya, repping as always. And fun fact about me is, for the longest time, I've known that I wanted to do entrepreneurship. I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I actually started my first business in 2021, where I was selling hair butters. So I've just been very in love with hair, especially since like after moving from Kenya to South Africa for a bit, I noticed that South Africans love their hair. They wear their hair so proudly, especially in South African schools. Because in Kenyan schools, for example, if you're going into high school, they'll tell you either need to relax your hair or cut it.
Really?
Yes, relax your hair or cut it. There's no time to maintain your hair. Yeah, those are in the rules. And so, like, that was the context that I grew up in, and I didn't really know anything different until I went to South African high school, and I'm seeing Afro puffs, I'm seeing locks, I'm seeing like full and I'm like, wow, you mean African schools can actually do it like that? So it opened my eyes and made me realize that something is wrong, something is off. How is it that in an African country full of predominantly African people, the rule is cut your hair or relax it? So that brings us to today. Florienta is actually one of the partners for this podcast. It's an African brand creating African products for African and Afro-descendant people. Another partner for the brand, and which again goes back to my entrepreneurial streak, is when I came to the UK, it's not like Africa where you can like there's an African salon or barber in every corner of the streets. Like you can get your hair done at any moment's notice, and yeah, you can get it done quick. No, in this town of Buckingham, you need to fix this, Mayor. In this town of Buckingham, there are no black barber shops. Number
True.
one, there is one black salon, but it isn't always open. So for you as an international student or as an African or as someone from a predominantly black country coming to a place like this, and there are other places in the UK that are like Buckingham where there are no hair solutions for you, you're literally like at a loss. You don't know what you're going to do with yourself. So I came up with the idea to launch an online platform that allows you to discover and engage with black hair barbers and stylists, so that it takes away the hassle of having to look for someone to do your hair.
Yeah.
You just go online, find somebody, and it also takes away the risk of switching costs. Sometimes you stick with somebody because you have no other choice. But
True.
with this, you know that you have options. But the best part about it is I wanted it to be communal as well. So I wanted it that people can create their own personal profiles. It's not that you're just looking at the profiles of the barbers and the stylists. You can have a profile for yourself. You can engage with other people. If you're scared to try a stylist out, there's a community that you can engage and ask, okay, how are you guys feeling about so-and-so from so-and-so? Like, are they good? How are they? And you can leave your reviews after that as well for the next person who's also wanting to explore the hair care scene in the Western world. But yeah, that's enough about me. We forgot to introduce what we're drinking today. So, with Sumi, she is having a cranberry. I don't know if I should.
Cider.
Yeah, she's having a cranberry cider. Katie is having a lager. Kay is having a non-alcoholic lager. So all of these drinks, and I'm having an alcoholic lager. All of these drinks have been sponsored by the OTM, and you can find them at the OTM bar. Stick around till later in the video because I will be sharing with you a promo code that you can use to get discounts off your favorite drinks. And so with that, let's start. So the first topic, which you guys already are aware of, is that video that had been circulating the internet of that girl from the podcast Bad and Bougie. I think her name was
Chloe?
Yes.
𝐶𝐫𝐵, yeah.
She was talking about how you shouldn't bring your natural hair to her event. And we're gonna watch the video now. I wanna get your thoughts on what she's saying.
This whole battle, natural hair versus wigs or weaves. What's your take on it?
Your natural hair is good for church programs. Your natural hair is good for when you want to pick your kids at school.
Oh, wow.
Don't bring your natural hair to my event. I have natural hair, but I'm wearing a wig. But I don't have to. I can wear my natural hair if I want to go out. If I'm going to the beach, I can wear my natural hair. It's good for the beach. If I'm going to church, it's okay. Do you get what I'm saying? If I'm going to pick maybe going to play with my niece, it's cool. If I'm in my house, it's okay. But why would I want to wear a nice dress, expensive dress, expensive heels? At least I'll do ponytail. At least. Like, but when you do natural hair, you're wearing a nice dress. I'm looking at the dress up. I just look at the face, and they do one thing. They do one thing when they pay me. So we not do that small makeup and say you're a minimalist. No, no, Chloe.
So let's start from this side since we started the intros from this side. What are your thoughts?
Okay, if you watch that clip in context, I think she gives an explanation, and it's her opinion, valid to her.
Valid.
But I have to disagree.
Yeah.
Because I think the issue with natural hair itself, it's not so much with the natural hair, it's like the conditioning that we, especially as Black people, have of the conditioning from society. That's part of where all of this discourse and discussion about hair stems from. So until we address the root causes, we're gonna continue seeing opinions like that you can't wear your natural hair to all settings. But as a woman with natural hair myself, it's a part of my identity. How I choose to show up with it in any setting should not be. You can have your opinion fair, but don't expect me to change to suit your standards. It's my standards. So if I decide that I want to wear my nice, beautiful designer gown with my natural hair out, if I'm not allowed access to your event, obviously it would upset me, but that says a lot more about you than it does about me.
True.
Yeah, I agree. Especially because on the other side of the world, in Asia, Europe, the natural hair is all they know. I mean, obviously, as Africans, we're very versatile with hairstyling in terms of braids, wigs, ponytails, and all of that. But on the other side of things, they wear their natural hair everywhere. I mean, they cut it into bands and layers, color it, but it's still their natural hair. So why can't we wear ours? It's the same thing to me. Like, I can decide to color my hair red today and go out, or straighten it, or curl it in a different curl pattern that would be looser than my natural curls. I mean, I don't think because I have natural hair, I should hide it, which is almost what it seems like she's perpetuating. Hiding a natural hair for something that's for close family. In terms of how she talked about, she's going to see her niece or was it nephew, she would do that, she's going to the beach. Natural hair is supposed to be celebrated. I mean, it's what God gave us. It's our God-given gift of the curls. No other nation can achieve that. No other tribe. Literally, it's only Black people that have that type 4 ABC curls, and we should celebrate it the same way people with 1A straight hair would celebrate theirs. And I feel like it almost feels like, to not be radicalist, a form of new colonialism. We've seen on the other side people with straighter hair, they just seem to be the beauty standard, and we are trying to perpetuate it on ourselves, even with our dark skin. We're just like, yeah, we know our hair is supposed to be curly, but I want my hair straight. I want a 28-inch bust down, as they say, 30-inch bust down, and I have wigs as well. but I wear them proudly the same way I wear my natural hair proudly. I mean, I'm a hairstylist. I braid my own hair. I braid people's hair as well, and I wouldn't want my clients or my children or my sisters or even my mom to not be happy about their hair. The same way I wouldn't want myself to be happy. So I feel like the same way I would put it on other people is how I put it on myself. Why can't I wear my natural hair? I think my natural hair is beautiful, and it depends on how I style it. I could style it in a way that at the party I'm the most beautiful girl in the world.
Period. As the resident Nigerian babe on the podcast, I want to ask your opinion from that perspective as a woman and as a Nigerian woman, because she's a Nigerian woman herself. Do you feel that her views are like the other women in Nigeria would share the same views?
Certainly. I mean, quite a lot of the wig business in Nigeria is one of the biggest in the world. I mean, we have raw Vietnamese hair being shipped every day. And everyone is like, oh, how much did you buy your hair? 300,000 naira. Oh, I bought it for. Even people do trends like that. Oh, what me and my friends, how much we paid for buying our wigs is a trend on TikTok. Well, among Nigerian women, and I think it's because of the culture of having a wig is almost like a status, especially if it's long and expensive. You know, as opposed to maybe I think in the UK and the US, if it's nice quality hair, that's fine. It doesn't have to be expensive as long as it's quality. But like in Nigeria, the whole I'm wearing a 30, it's 1 million naira bust down. It's like really big, especially at the party scenes. You know, you barely ever see girls at the club or in the party or at weddings wearing braids or their natural hair. It's like, come with me to go get my wig done for this African wedding I'm going for. I see that all the time. And I feel like it almost is like we're trying to downgrade our culture. Because wigs went here like 60 years ago. In Nigeria at least. Maybe in the US and the UK, yes. In Nigeria, we didn't really have wigs apart from the Afro wigs. My mom used to tell me about those. The Afro wigs were the big thing, and now it's like no one even wears those. They only wear the human hair, Vietnamese, bone straight, body wave, things that are not natural to our hair type. And I really wouldn't want people to think that that's the only way. Like you can be beautiful with your braids, with your natural hair. Like look at all three of us women here today are wearing either braids or natural hair, and I think we all look very beautiful. So does that mean we can't go to the wedding or to the party?
Yeah, I would definitely not be allowed.
Yeah, but include the man as well. Like there's one of that
Kelly as well has cornrows underneath his durag, and you just imagine we can't forget Kelly. Just imagine if someone told us, "Oh, you can't come into my party because you have braids. You can't come into my party because your hair." Imagine someone told you as your hair's like this now, you can't come in. You're not beautiful enough.
It's fine.
And I don't know, I really wouldn't want that to be our only perception of Afro hair. I understand what she's saying about dressing nice and looking presentable, but I think that natural hair can be presentable. For instance, is it Fela Kuti's grandson? He got married earlier this year. His wife's wedding hair was her natural hair. She does not wear any extensions ever. I've never seen her in extensions. As opposed to maybe I think I've seen her do like natural hair twists, but she only does her natural hair. In fact, she was a lovely black bride, and I feel like she was the epitome of beauty, and it came shortly after Coco by Chloe's comment, so it was almost like a contrast of. So are you saying that she doesn't look beautiful on her wedding day because she's not wearing a wig? And I would say she looked gorgeous.
You know, I want to touch on what you said about it's a status symbol. Like people feel good about having spent X amount of money on their hair. I think it's the exclusivity. And people want to feel like other people can spend this amount. Therefore, I'm like a certain level above. I think that's where it comes from. But funny enough, natural hair is not easy to take care of, guys.
It's so expensive.
Natural
Please
hair products are not cheap.
Thank you.
Please. So to add to that, I think it's a bit of a weird narrative just because it's like putting a price tag on your hair and determining the value of its worth based on the price tag. So because everybody has natural hair, grows out of their scalp, it's like I don't want to be like everybody else. I want to have
Something different.
Yeah, I want to have an elevated appearance per se. But even the narrative that the appearance is only elevated with something else is questionable. Just because natural hair is presentable.
Exactly.
You can style your natural hair and make it look beautiful. So, yeah. What do you think? Let's hear from a man's perspective.
Well, natural hair is beautiful, you know. It's annoying to take care of. I don't like even my hair in the natural Afro-ish state. I would prefer it braided or twisted. My main problem with the clip that was played was she said, "Oh, you get an expensive dress, expensive shoes, and then you wear your natural hair. Like your natural hair is worth less than, something like you're not. The only time where you fit complete the look is if you get a wig. Come on.
It's like you downgraded the elevated look.
Yeah, with the natural hair.
Yeah.
And like, it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. And sure, like there's some truth to what she says, like in the business setting of this kind of setting or whatever. But then that's only true because of how it has been planted and tended to. If people actually try and make sure that we all stick with the certain norms. That's like, like you said you grew up and then it was either cut your hair or relax your hair. Well, out in Nigeria, you could have like all the types of hair, except for guys, right? So for me, obviously, I can't speak for women, for myself. Growing up as a kid in Nigeria, once you're old enough, boom, shaving your head off. Every Nigerian kid had the same hairstyle growing up, from like the galas to the gorimapa. Only if your parents were now somewhat cool, they let you have waves, the 360 waves, that kind of thing. And then obviously if you travel to America or England and come back for like a year or two, then you now have like the afro with now they had the little curls at the top. Yeah, that kind of thing. But so it's like from a young age, it's like, you need to tame your natural hair. Like you tame it, but like you said, I think who said it, like not everyone else has natural hair, but no one tries to tame their natural hair.
Yeah. And even the word tame is like, what do you mean tame? Is it wild?
I get the thing for events or where you say you need to look prim and proper, but every natural hairstyle can be done in a prim and proper way.
Yes.
Every single one. So that you're African done in a proper way, dreadlocks can be done prim and proper. Twist, braids, obviously with braids we more like have to redo it to make it more neat, that kind of thing. So it's like, why is it that when you look at natural hair, you ultimately think this is not neat and tidy? That's my problem.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to move on to another video now of a Nigerian pastor telling the single women in her audience that if they want to attract men, they should buy a wig. Let's watch.
He that will have friends must first show himself friendly. You're squeezing your face. Nobody is calling me, but this is how your face is. Friday night, you're at home. Monday, you're at home. Tuesday, you're at home. Instead of you to be smiling, be shining your teeth anywhere you are. When your friends are hanging out, say, I'm coming. When your colleagues are going to work, say, maybe that's where my husband will be. Let me dress up and join them. Show yourself friendly, and then you will have friends. All of you will be carrying natural hair about. Who natural hair help? Okay. Better wear your wig and be doing like this. And be flipping it. Go and spend that money on hair. Draw your brows. Buy lip gloss. Look good. Natural hair is not selling market. When you marry, you off your wig because you have entered. There's nothing they can do about it. But before you enter, don't be caught on fresh. Never. Package yourself well.
Can I go first?
Yes. I can see you are itching to go first. Please, to be honest.
I think I was also like, you all knew how I felt about this before you played it. But now that I haven't listened to it again, I want to start from the end. First of all, the thing about when you're outside, the first way when you enter your marriage or your relationship, you take it off. That is like saying, okay, first of all, to get married, you can't get married with natural hair. That's one. Two, it's like, I'll take it off, you're already there, nothing happening again, means that you can let yourself go. Sometimes if you rock your natural hair, let yourself go. Boom, bam, boom. Then she's in church, right? She's in church?
Yes.
She's a
I mean, she's in church.
That's crazy.
Crazy because, first of all, yeah, these are the people whose
minds, whose
You're
souls are
shaping
literally
them.
in your hands.
and you're telling them that the head that they were born with is not good
It's
enough to get
unfresh,
them
guys.
A husband.
No, you get me. And it's mad. It's like it's so disappointing.
Yeah. I think
So heartbreaking.
I think for me, what I picked up from this was the fact that one, I as a Christian, I mean I read Bible. Vanity is not the way for a successful marriage or even a way to heaven. And she's really like perpetuating this whole wear a wig and everything. And to me, like that's vanity. Like I'm not saying don't look good, but it's kind of vain to just accept that if you don't wear a wig, you're not going to find a husband or you're not going to be beautiful outside. And I mean, I feel like if I'm looking to get married, I want to get married to a good Christian man. My good Christian man is not going to marry me because I'm wearing a 30-inch bust down. He's going to marry me because he sees a wife in me. And so, like, for her to be saying this in church, instead of like teaching the values of a good wife or a good woman in general. In fact, some people don't need to get married. I mean, that's the first thing. Not every woman needs to get married. It's not. Yeah, it's not ordained that by fire by force, you have come to this earth, you must marry a man. And even at that, I think the final thing for me was the fact that she spoke about, oh, once you've entered, you can take the wig off. It doesn't mean a man won't cheat.
Point made.
So because you decided to remove the wig now, what if he keeps looking for, because if he's picked you based off of your 30-inch bust down, he will go and find the one that has 32-inch bust down outside. And then the one that has 40-inch. And it will keep going on. I mean, why should that be what you're teaching girls to do? Especially young, impressionable young girls. That she's supposed to be teaching.
I agree.
I mean, I know my family has shaped me to know that I'm beautiful inside and out. And my hair and my face and my body doesn't have to be the way I want to attract a man. It's based off of my values. But the way she's saying this in church, some women are going to listen to this as gospel. Yeah. They're going to see this and be like, tomorrow I need to buy myself a wig. Tomorrow I need to go out with my friends. And even the way she's saying go out, it almost doesn't, it sounds worldly to me.
It is.
Yeah.
You know, like the whole go out to find. Nobody is saying you can find a man inside your house. Somebody can. In the Bible, there were people always seeing them. It was always the girls that were always tending to their father's sheep inside the house that they were always seen to marry.
And
look at the Bible.
And the hair was covered.
And the hair was covered. Actually.
So, like, I don't understand this whole worldliness of, oh yes, you must dress nice, go outside with your friends. Yes, be friendly. You can be friendly and polite. Nobody's saying that. But that's a good value that she's perpetuating. But this whole go outside, go out with your friends, go to all the parties, until they fall into temptation.
I see my husband at work.
You know, until they fall into temptation, or you end up marrying the wrong man. The man that God did not ordain for you because you decided.
Because again, he was there for the 30-inch.
Yeah, he was there for the 30-inch bust down wig. And you know, I'm just like, is this what you're really teaching young girls outside?
I think it's so dangerous when you start to religionize certain things. The fact that this is being propagated in a religious space, people are literally going to take it as gospel. Like their souls are in your hands. My pastor said, I need to go and get a 30-inch bust down. I'm going to be going and getting that 30-inch bust down because I'm now thinking, is this what God is telling me to do? It literally becomes dangerous and messy territory the moment you start bringing religion into this.
And then another thing, so the get your wig, draw your eyebrows. Obviously, I don't know much about drawing eyebrows because I don't do it. But I think when I draw it, sometimes you shave a little bit off to then draw it in the shape you want it.
Oh guys, I don't do makeup. Don't look at me when you ask me a question.
I don't shave my eyebrows.
Okay, anyway, but when people draw it and then also they but they take it off back to sleep and when they wake up and then they wake up with the cornrows, the eyebrows are not drawn, and you look like a totally different person, and your man is like, what is that? And you're kind of looking at, why are you looking like that? Because you know the girl was wearing the 30-inch bust down
That's
with
literally
the
what I was
perfectly
saying.
aligned eyebrows, and then you're like, oh, I can't go out like this. I can't go out with my cornrows. People in university that you're like, oh, I'm in my cornrows. I can't. I'm in my cornrows. I'm putting my wig on. I can't go out. People see me. I'm like, you're in your natural hair. Why is that a bad thing? But then they're like, oh, you're a guy. We don't understand. So I'm like, oh well.
Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, no, like it's interesting. I think as someone who also just, it's not that I don't want to wear makeup. Like I appreciate, I can see when someone is putting the time and effort and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's always about like your motivation. So why are you doing that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where I like can question such a video. So now you're motivating women to be buying excessively long wigs, wearing makeup, going out for the aim of a husband.
Yeah.
Men are not the prize.
Guys.
But if she was doing it for herself,
It would
because
be a
she
different
feels
story.
good, it's her act of self-care towards herself, valid.
Yeah.
Go ahead, do what you need to.
Katie, do you have something to say?
No, but I just think like the motivation for why we do certain things and you choose to show up in certain ways is important in understanding why we take the decisions that we do as women, especially showing up in the world.
You know, black people. No.
I agree. From a, and forgive me if I'm saying this right, is it a Mutswana context?
And Ghanaian.
Yeah.
Actually.
So from both contexts, from Botswana and from Ghana, what are their sentiments around natural hair, around attractiveness and femininity in terms of hair?
Okay. I would like to just say I'm an exception.
Okay.
Because my mother and my big sister are both very scissor happy. They're very happy to cut their hair, they're happy to grow it out at any one moment. Especially my big sister, she's consciously never grown out her hair. She has natural hair, but she keeps it like a certain length.
Yeah.
My mother, on the other hand, is very versatile, like any other black woman. Like she can have braids today, or she's cut it tomorrow, whatever. But I've noticed that as a wider society, especially I want to say in Southern Africa, because I've been exposed to quite a bit, natural hair when I was in high school was not a thing.
Oh, okay.
It was not a thing. I guess my age is showing, but it was not a thing. I remember like when I went to boarding school in my first year, I went with braids, but then I took them out because obviously you know braids at some point, they get old, they get smelly, you just need to remove it. And I remember when I had my hair out, I had everybody. When I mean everybody, people that were outside of my hostel, people that were outside of my form, they all came to me and said, wow, you have natural hair, you should relax it.
Wow.
And I actually had a conversation the other day with one of my former friends from high school, where we're like, we love that currently if you go to our school's website and you look at the current students, those girls are wearing their natural hair. They're embracing it. They do all the styles. They have everything. And we kind of had a conversation where we're like, we wish it could have been like that for us.
Yeah.
And then we realized that, but we're also proud of ourselves in this moment because we've done a lot of unlearning of the things from society and other people. It takes a lot of unlearning to reach a point where you're comfortable with your natural hair.
Yeah.
And I think not just in Southern Africa, but as a whole, I've having lived through the growth, it's not acceptable that I don't want to put relax in my hair. Whereas before, you could have a stranger telling you, oh, you need to touch up your hair.
A stranger?
Your hair is due.
A stranger?
Yeah.
What am I shocked? Guys, I literally walked down the road in Buckingham this one time and I had like, okay, yeah, my braids were old and I needed to undo them. But like some lady out of nowhere just walked up to me and was like, you need to redo your hair. I was like,
yes.
I'm so embarrassed.
That's why I do have no one happens to
Yeah.
No, but like even in professional settings, you have instances where the older woman or the mentor wants to tell you, my child, why is your hair like this? Why did you choose to show up like this? That time you woke up extra early to do your twist out for work. So it just shows that it's a generational thing.
Yeah.
And I see the difference now also like in my nieces who are also growing up and they're way younger. my niece, for example, has never had relaxer in her hair. And not that it was imposed on her, but you can see that because that was never done to her, she really embraces her natural hair.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, I knew every 4 or 6 weeks, I'm going to take him to my auntie's salon to put relaxer in my hair. So even the change of like leaving relaxer and choosing to be natural, that was like, it showed the unlearning that I had to do on my own in order to embrace my own natural hair and choose to show up like that.
I think it's kind of the same right now with teenagers and I think the youth in Nigeria. Back when I was in high school, we had, I think the craze of relaxed hair had actually died. But when I was in primary school, a long time ago, as you can tell. I mean, I am young, but a while ago, when I was in primary school, we all wanted relaxed hair. I remember I had 2 friends, they were my closest friends. I remember their names, Farida and Faiza. They had long, straight hair, and I was so envious. I was so envious because, like, their hair, it would be like class party, and they'd have like 2 strands of like just their hair, and it would, obviously because their hair was relaxed, it was like just straight, as opposed to me that would have to do like 2 puffs or whatever. And I was just like, I want this hair so bad. And I think I asked my mom, I was like, Mommy, can I relax my hair? My mom said no. She said I could texturize it though. So I had like looser curls in my hair. I remember but the first time I did texturize, it was traumatic. I cried, everything. And I had to like, so it would be a thing that my mom would only allow me to do during Christmas. So Christmas, I could texturize my hair or like silk press it into like a bang situation. But by New Year, it was going back to and I was going back to my cornrows. But I remember just feeling so beautiful. That's when I'll take all the pictures in the world. I probably still have pictures of me, my little bumps. And I didn't understand how it was because of my society that I wanted straight hair until I got to secondary school. And then by the time I was in year 8, everyone was going natural. And I don't know why, I instinctively went with the craze. Like, so my sisters had already started going natural, which was also, my sisters had a very big influence on me. So when they had said, oh, you're not relaxing anymore, I was like, okay, I will relax less frequently. And then everyone started going natural, and I could see that a lot of people were either doing the big chop or transitioning, and I was just like, big chop is not for me. I would rather like transition out. So I told my mom, I was like, I will stop texturizing my hair for Christmas. I can straighten it, but I would rather not texturize. She was like, yeah, that's fine with me. My mom has relaxed hair by the way, but she never like imposed it on any of us to relax or straighten or anything. She was just like, look presentable. So it was more like, do a ponytail with your natural hair, it was fine with her. So I went natural by transitioning, and obviously I was one of the few people that didn't do a big chop in my high school, and everyone was looking at me like, is your hair actually going to be natural at the end of it? Because nobody really knew the trend. It was like, I think it was maybe 2013, so it was pretty early into everyone going to natural hair phase, and everyone had only been doing big chops. All the big influencers at the time had done big chops to go back natural. And for me, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not cutting my hair. I like my hair too much.
Now, we finally come to the end. We're going to talk about these drinks. These drinks are all available at the OTM. They have lagers, they have ciders, they have non-alcoholic drinks as well. If you're of the Islamic faith or if you just do not drink alcohol, they provide them in green cups. So specifically states that you do not drink alcohol because those are dedicated for non-alcoholic drinks. They will never mix them, unlike the other glasses. And what I want you guys to do is I would like you to subscribe and comment that you've subscribed, and I will text you with a code for you to get a discount at the OTM for your favorite drinks. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace out.
Powered by the OTM.